Hi, everyone. This is Jen, and I am so honored to invite this beautiful friend of mine from Eastern Kenya. Her name is Purity Kaylene. So we have such joy to co-create the chapters in this book that we collaborated last year. It's called The Wild and Wise Women Around the World. And so, hi, Purity.
Hi, Jen.
Yes, so Purity, she's a registered nutritionist, a dietitian, and now, she's a young mom of a 6-month-old right now. And I would love for her to share with you her, I would say, heroine journey, because as you know, Kenya, part of Africa, there's a lot of women in Kenya, they're going through their trials and tribulation in terms of cultural, in terms of women empowerment. And Purity is here to share that what she has gone through and what she is here to go after her dreams, no matter what happened in her past, which is her early childhood. So Purity, I'm so happy that you're here and share your story.
Thank you so much, Jen. I'm so excited too. A little bit nervous. I think I use my story as a way to inspire someone. Like when I use it, it's like I'm telling you, there's nothing that can stand you on your way of everything that you want in your life. So if you decide this is what I want, despite everything that is happening to you, or maybe something that ever happened to you, you can still get what you want. So my journey is something I have learned how to live with it. I've learned how to love it. I've learned how to embrace it. So I would say it's something that has shaped me, because in my chapter, I've talked so much on what happened in my childhood, things that when I look back, that time when I used to look back, I really used to feel so ashamed and embarrassed. I was like, do people, when they look at me, do they know what I've been through? Because I've really struggled to get to where I am. And I would say my journey has shaped me in terms of me accepting to be who I am. And the whole of my childhood, I would say even the whole of part of my youth, I've lived with so many people, because I had to move from this person to another person just to make sure I'm able to accomplish and go through with my education. And all these people have made me who I am. They have been the part of my journey, because as I said, when you decide, the universe tends to send you all kinds of people just to make sure that your dream do come true. Everything that you've set your mind to do come true. So as I have said that in my story, I have talked about being left with the care of my brother at a very young age.
You were around 5 years old. You were around 5 years old, and your brother was only
5 years old.
And your mother left both of you at such a young age.
Yeah. And it was like 4 weeks. She went was it 3 weeks? It was for like 3 weeks. You now can imagine it's happening in the middle of the night, and you're so small, you're so young. And when you look back, you just see it like just happened the other day. But still, that one didn't stop me from going after what I thought it was right for me, and I thought that will shape my life, make it better. And that was education. I really got attached to it so much. Education. So much that
education.
Yeah, it was my way out. It was like, I would say it was my way out, because all of my journey, so many things just happened. They kept happening. I was like, why they are not stopping? Why are they not changing? Why is this happening? And through education, I tend to hide myself from them, try to put I won't say put a curtain, because it's like I use the education part as a curtain, not to see what's happening and just focus on this other side of life. So I think my story is more about inspiring people that you can do it, you can get what you want. You just have to like keep going, decide. God will send everyone that you want, anyone that you want to like work your way out, open the doors for you. He will.
You're such an inspiration because you were at such a young age and you were being left behind by the parental figures, right? And you had to know how to survive through the vulnerable time where you were left with your brother so little, 5 years old and 3 years old. I can never imagine like how you actually made it through. And through education, and at the time, it was really also very hard for you. It was difficult for you to obtain the resources needed in order to get into the school, right? And can you share with us like how that made you feel at the dip? And there's always that parts of us that when we are very, very desperate to get out of the rut, either it's inside or outside, there is that, hopelessness almost. And when you went through your hopelessness, felt like, things are not possible, how did you take yourself out of it? And how did you still keep your dreams alive? Because your dreams were grander than you. Your dreams are grander than you. You're only 27 years old. You're almost 2 decades younger than me. When I was your age, sorry to compare, when I was your age, I was very, very pretty immature mentally. But I think life really puts it in a position, they forces you to grow really fast, and you are wise beyond age. Seriously. And so how did you really not just survive, but thrive through the cycle of desperation? Like, I'm never going to amount to anything. This is not for me. I'm doomed. That kind of energy.
I think let me first say thank you for the kind words that you just said. Even my friend just the other day was like, you see, people think like you're a bit older, and when they hear you, like you're just a 1995 baby, they're like, oh, that girl is really like mature. And I'm like, I'm telling her, life made me mature early. I have like no time for just letting people continue seeing me as someone who can amount to nothing. Because all my life I've seen them project everything, all those things that this girl cannot do this, she won't turn out to be something productive, she'll be just like this. They have really like, they had already created something in their mind. And I was always striving and fighting to like make them, this is not what I'm going to be. Whatever it's in your mind that you think I'm going to be, I'm not going to be like that. And the fact that I used education as my way out is something that I would really, really tell someone who is a young girl who is maybe out there, who is struggling. Look for something you want, that passionate thing that you think can really be your escape. If it's education, despite all the things that you think they won't come through, they won't go the way you want in terms of maybe resources, everything do happen. Doors do open, people do come, even people you never knew would come in your life. They just come to just push you into that next step to make that dream of yours come true. So I think using education as part of my escape and as a part of my way out, because I mostly concentrated in it And the fact that I showed a lot of passion in it, people tend to like, I can host you for 1 week, I can host you for 1 month, you can go to school from my place, another person opens up the door, does the same, like does the same, I mean. And all that was like a way of pushing me towards the completion of my education life. And all these people, they just, some haven't been in contact with them. And I'll say that it's like when you want something, you really want it. And you like work towards that thing that you want. God sends all kind of people just to make sure that that thing that you really want will happen. So I think it's all about attaching yourself to something that you're passionate about, and then going after that something, and yeah, it comes to a realization. You just find yourself, you are where you wanted. You're like, did I just complete college the other day? How did I make that? How did I do that with all the problems of resources? How did I do that? So it's something that is all about chasing, all about not stopping, all about putting a deaf ear to everything that people tend to like project on you. Because I'm telling you, when you focus on what they say, you'll be like, she said I can't do this, she said I can't go to this far, and you just, because it tends to give you fear, it makes you fear even of your own strength. You just like, am I that strong? You like even make yourself so not able to like reach your dreams just because someone else has said you can't. So I think I have grown with a very, very big deaf ear to those things.
Wow. So Purity, if I'm hearing you correctly, I mean, there were also times when you're going through projections from other people saying that you're not going to amount to anything, you're not capable of doing this, and that, right? And you still chose to listen to your heart, even though that was scary, right? Because you hadn't even done it yet, but you still chose to believe. And I think that's like the, when you're talking about the belief system, like the belief system that we have in us, it really leads us to the direction where either we wanted to go or we don't want to go, right? And it's something that, you're so strong at, is you're able to just stay in your core and say, okay, no matter what, I'm just gonna go for what I truly believe, and which is through education. And I know it was really tough for you because, the resource was really scarce in Africa. And what is a part of you that you want to share, that when people who are really battling with their own fears, especially young girls, I mean, young girls, they care about what other people are saying, when they're not really firm about what's going on in their own belief system. How would you encourage them to really get centered?
Okay, let me say something. When we say Africa, mostly, let's say there are those people who are well up. It's like there are those with big businesses, they are those most educated, they are working in profession areas. And I think there are some of those families that are from humble background. They don't have that much resources to like, they can only afford putting food into the table. And when it comes to education, they tend to like mostly rely on, we have things we call bursaries. Those are like government aids from our own government. Yeah, they support you through education, but not most of the people who tend to get these things. So sorry. For those who are unable to get these things, they tend to like struggle from fundraising for school fees, and also like asking support from relatives, as long as you have a well up friends or maybe family members, that one is okay. But for most of the girls, let's say most of the girls, it tends to like, there's that still, I would say it's a notion like, it's okay, you've reached a level that is quite enough for you. You are a girl, you can maybe do something else. There's that mentality of you've really learned a lot, you don't have to do that. I think nowadays it's when people have really woken up, and in Africa they like, even can do it, they can do it, you can get to that point that you think it's not unreachable, you think it's unreachable. So the fact that a young girl is somewhere, or maybe a young girl from a herbal background, and
so Purity, I have one question for you. Talk more about your country, the cultural values that you deal with, or even the young girls or young women that are dealing with, regarding they want to empower themselves, yet being themselves could be a big challenge to them because they don't want to disappoint certain cultural values or tribal values. Because I know there are a lot of tribes, right, in Africa, like 72 something, or 42 tribes and 70 plus ethnic groups. I'm learning something new, but I'm like, whoa, that's a lot, right? So for women, like their identity, connecting with tribal values, and how do they claim their own value system? How do they stand up for themselves, say, this is my independence, my way of thinking, but yet not feel like, oh, I'm obligated and I feel let down of the tribal values? I know this probably is big for the women in Africa. Just curious.
I think most of them, mostly it's all about, there are those who still have that mentality that girls are not supposed to be in school, but that one is maybe, it's not like, it's something that there are a lot of NGOs, the non-government organizations, and a lot of government officials trying to advocate for girl child education, empowerment. I would say empowerment, because you see, it's like they are tied in the cultural sector of you are not supposed to go beyond this, you're supposed to be doing this at this. They're like dictating how your life should be. At this age, you're supposed to be married. At this age, you're supposed to have these kids. But right now, that thing is like going away. There have been a lot of advocates. The people are like advocating for that education. Girl child can still chase education to whatever extent they want to. So it's something that I would say I've seen these things grow, and I'm so proud that parents nowadays, they are trying to like empower their own girls, their own even let me say the boys, because right now there's no land to give to them. So you just have to work hard. You really work hard for you to get that something for yourself. Wow. If you want that land, you have to like work for it. You buy it, because right now there's no way you can say someone has, like the way I've been raised, I would say the way we've been raised, me and my brother, there's nothing for my mom to like tell me, this is your piece of land, you can do this, or maybe tell my brother, because mostly the men, the boys are the one who are like given that everything to do with the family. We don't have that.
Yeah.
All of our lives we live in let's say we've rented. So there's no way you tell me, or maybe someone tells you you're going to inherit someone else's house. So you just have to make sure you look for a way that you can make your life better, or maybe if you won't be able to buy that land, you at least live in a a good place than where you've been raised. And for girls, I'll say there's still that thing. There's still that fear, even in themselves. As people are trying to like empower them, we still have that fear of what if I reach 40, what if I reach 45, 50, and as I've not done this, I don't have a family, or maybe I'm not married. People still be pointing fingers on me, like at me. And the African culture is really funny one. It's a funny culture.
Really?
You'll meet with someone and then ask, oh, you haven't been married until now. You're like, was marriage part of you, like the way you know me, as in like, were you planning for me already? Because there's no way someone you can meet up with someone and then like just because they got married themselves, or maybe they have kids themselves, they tend to like look down on another person just because that person took another way and maybe decided maybe I don't want to have kids, or maybe I'll have kids when I'm this ready, or maybe when I'm at this point. But here people are really funny. They can make you think you've not even done anything. And that's what I'm telling you, when we as girls, we as women, when we tend to let others project the fears they have on themselves, on us, just because we took another course, we tend to like slag behind. We are unable to accomplish what we want just because we are focusing on what they are saying more than what we want for ourselves. So I think me as a person and the fact that I've come is because I really put a very big deaf ear to whatever someone has said, because I have ever been told something like that. Oh, you see, remember that person you used to school with? She has a baby. And I'm like, oh, congratulations. And like, when are you getting married? Someone like asked me that question sometimes back. I was like, oh, am I like, why are you like focusing on me? You should just let me be.
Purity, I love what you just expressed. This is something so gorgeous about you, is that, you just said, I just put a deaf ear, my ear is deaf. There only selected messages are allowed to get into my ear, right? All the rest is none of my business. And there's such power in that. And what you said is so important. I think it does not only apply to the women, young girls in Africa, but apply to all of us collectively, because we gave our power away so much to how other people think of us and how are we being perceived, if we don't show up in a certain way, or we don't meet up to the societal benchmark. Like, I fail a lot of societal benchmark. I'm not married, I'm not with children, I'm my own, right? So allowing, those outdated cultural beliefs to start to fade away, so we don't carry as much of the ancestral burden on our shoulders. So, wow, thank you for sharing. And I mean, you're not even 30, but yet whatever you're saying here is like so true. And then it's vital. It's vital for our wellness, for our humanity's wellness. Thank you for that. Yeah. One thing that I also want to kind of touch upon, but I need to kind of go back to your storyline, if you don't mind me asking, because I know when you were going all the way back to your childhood, when your mother and your dad left you and your brother alone, and you were so little, so young, 5 years old and 3 years old, all by yourself. And at that dark, scary place, I mean, I believe that there's still that part of you that feel a little bit of, like, I don't know, how do I survive through this? I mean, the resentment would be like, how come my mom is not taking good care of me? How come my father is not taking good care of me? Like, but all the way up to now, I mean, toward the the very last chapter of how you describe your relationship with your mother, you actually reconcile beautifully. So I want you to kind of share about how do you apply compassion and forgiveness in this type of situation, especially for loved ones, because it's easy to say, oh, I forgive, you know, but then when it comes to something that is so deep and that is so vulnerable, you know, when we're so young, it kind of gives us a little bit of wounding inside. Would you mind sharing?
I think, yeah, sure. I think I would say, you see, when I used that education, let me start from there. When I used education, I was like determined to make my life better and my mom's better, my mom's life better. So chasing after it, it's a long journey. It's not like something that happens, you accomplish everything at once. You just have to like work hard. Maybe you'll get something you sent to her. And then I started like focusing on myself so much. And I was like, even if I'm unable to like do all things that I wanted for her, and I do them for myself, I think I would have really, really accomplished a lot, because this journey I've been walking it on my own. And all that I was trying to like avoid and put what I would say, it's a wall on everything people thought this person I will turn out to be. And the fact that I just accepted me for me and accepted her for her, and I really used everything that has ever happened between us as a lesson. The reason I'm saying a lesson is because now I'm a mother right now.
Yeah.
And this short journey of motherhood has really taught me a lot. And I don't have to have expectation for my own child. Maybe now growing up, she had so much expectation for me, even without saying, because African moms tend to be like, play, put a wall. They just say, that's my mom. But you don't have that vulnerable moments with your mom. You can just like approach your mom, tell her what's happening. There's nothing like that. So me growing up with my mom, I was like trying to like, I'll put it like run away most of the times from the things that were happening in my life, in our lives, both of our lives. But right now I am a mom, and though I am a mom, I've learned that I don't have to have expectation for my own daughter. Yeah, I will shape her way. I will just guide her. But everything that she wants, I want to be like present. You see, that present moment is thing that I didn't have. I didn't have that present moment. You see, you can have a mom, but you feel like there's nothing, like she's not there at all.
I understand. Oh my gosh, the presence, right?
Yeah, but I've learned that you don't need to like have a lot. You don't need to like, even her not being able to provide for us fully, support education, maybe give us basics, her not being able to do that, I think her presence would have really meant very, very big. It would have been something that is very precious to us looking back, because being present is something that you just have to say, my mom is, I can just say, I can just, when you're going through something, you can just say, I'll just talk to my mom, just talk to my mom. Now she's not there. You see, it's like you're trying to run away from her.
Yeah.
So I think all that's happened between us, and the fact that now I'm a mom, I've really learned on accepting everything and really taking the good part and saying, maybe this was her way that time of bringing up her children, but I won't want to do that. I won't want to do the same. I want to like have that different type of relationship with my own child.
Wow. You know, Purity, while listening to your share, sorry, the sun. The sun is too bright here. While listening to your share, it really, I'm in awe because as souls, right? I mean, you chose to be born in Africa, you chose to be born in Asia, in Taiwan, in the family that we chose to be born in. And the stimulation and different dynamics, right, is trying to stimulate our soul's growth. For me as well, you know, I was a highly sensitive kid, and, you know, I was witnessing my mom suffering, but she never told me a thing. And I felt it, and I didn't know how to help and heal her. So I have to be a little overachiever, try to make her happy. And along the way, I lost myself. And I have to learn to reclaim who is Jen on this journey. Yeah. And for you, it's like you're escaping from her. Also, you know, you want to start learning about how to be more independent and how to go after what you want. And in return, you bring what matters to you back to your heart. And it's all soul's journey that we're on. I just feel like, doesn't matter, you know, we're all splat, you know, kind of like spread out in different geographical area, but we're so connected in terms of what we're here to learn, like know ourselves, know why we're here for, and continue to love ourselves. Because if we can't love ourselves, how do we love other people from a full cup? This is half a full cup, right? Yeah. Wow.
And the fact that you've said, if we can't love ourselves, like how can we love others if the same love we want to show to them, we cannot show it to ourselves? It's also something that is part of me, because when I decided to go for that healing journey and the forgiveness journey, I was like, if I want to move on with my life, if I want to like live a happy life, I need to like accept everything and live with it, and know that everything that happened is not my problem anymore. It was just a lesson to teach me not to be, or maybe not to do everything that. And the fact that someone told me that, you see, during when you're going on a healing journey, you can backslide. You can reach to a moment and like, oh my God, I can't do this. I'm trying to put a wall, but wall is still like not being able to. So for me, being able to like accept all that ever happened, not to do the same things to others, or not to like make us go through what I went through, especially my child, is something that I've been able to use as my forgiveness and compassion journey, that journey of healing.
Non-judgmental space. From a non-judgmental space. And I feel like, you know, I remember when I read your story, you were saying also like we shouldn't judge, you know, unless you really walk a mile in their shoes, right? But in this world that we're in, I mean, there's so much separation, so much division, even in just one country, like, you know, each country. I mean, we're so separated, you know? And then I think it's just the healing that we need is to really like allow ourselves not to judge ourselves. When we judge less of ourselves, we tend to judge other people less. And when people judge less, overall, we are all much more in peace. Don't you think so?
Yeah, you can't like go, I said, until you walk on that shoe, that you think that someone is supposed to be doing whatever they're doing, until you lose, then do not even point a finger at them, because you don't know why they are doing whatever they are doing. You don't know why they are acting the way they are acting. So maybe someone, like, someone look at you and think you have a very nice, comfortable. So someone can just look at you and think maybe your life is so good, you have no struggles, just because they just like seeing you the way you are, just by the way you look, the way everything seems to be in your life. But until they walk on your shoes, that's when they will know that you are just a strong person beneath that they are seeing. So I've learned also not to go judging people. I don't do that, because we as human, we have a lot of things going through our lives, and not so many people are able to go like sharing. Maybe someone wants to be like to just stay in their own cocoons of whatever they are going through. So until someone walks on your shoe, they have no right. They have no right at all to say something negative about you, or maybe to project everything that they think they know about you to you. Whatever they think they know, let them stay with that. Yeah. And if you want to live a happy life, just avoid those people that tend to make you feel, they tend to project their fears, because that is not you. Whatever they are seeing, it's not you, it's them. And just because they are seeing you going after whatever you are able to go after, chasing after your dreams, being who you are, your authentic self, is making them so, I would say, giving them, it's scaring them, a bit scaring them, because they're like, oh my, why is she so strong? Why is she so powerful? How can she go after what she wants and I'm just here? So I have learned not to like go projecting everything I feel about people on them. If I feel, let me stay with whatever I think I feel. But I won't like go doing that. And that's what has really helped me grow, especially from my young childhood to where I am, because I've grown people projecting whatever they think of me to me. And that one is like, they would say when they are just like beside you, you'll hear them say, that one will turn out to be like this, that one. I've really had a lot of that until I'm now like, okay, whatever you think I'll turn out to be, it's okay, I will be. But inside me, I know I've really done everything in my power to be opposite of whatever they think I will turn out to be. And now I'm a living proof that whatever they said, I've not been that.
Whew, I love your truth, and I share the same truth with you, Purity. And it's not easy, even though, you know, the way you expressed or how we're just chatting right now, it's like, oh, it's ignore the projection, right? But at the same time, it takes some energy, it takes self-trust to do this. So you don't get swayed easily by people or any outside forces that's not in your highest alignment.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think this is real deep, because talking about spiritual, right? Being spiritual, and sometimes protecting your energy and protecting your dream and what you truly believe is a spiritual path.
Yeah.
And also when you're saying, oh, you know, when you are being led by the universe, or, you know, you're meeting the people who are here to help you, to support you, it's also showing you the spiritual support that you're receiving.
Yeah.
And
that is super amazing, because you tend to like, you know, walking in a journey, in a spiritual journey, you like have that hope that something good is going. And because you've already believed that everything that you think will happen tends to just come your way, and it tends to happen. So it's not like a physical journey that you're saying you're walking in a physical journey, but it's just another journey, another kind of journey that you're walking with your within self.
Yes.
People can just, as you go, maybe you move from one place of work to another, one level to another level, but they don't know the within you, what kind of journey you're walking, because through that journey that is unknown to all, it's only you that knows that journey that you're walking. That's when you tend to like be in a spiritual, I would say spiritual moment, where you have a connection with the super being, that you know that being is going to do something for you, but you don't have to like telling people like it's something, it's your own journey. Yeah, I would say it's your own personal journey that only you know of.
Oh, I just love you. How truthful you are, and how what's the word? How pure intention you are. You're beautiful as your name. So you know this is called the Authenticity Project. So I want you to give let's just say one tip for any viewer who's watching, that how to inspire them to walk on their own authentic truth, you know, especially when we talk about a lot about projection today. So especially when they're dealing with projection and their own fear of, oh my gosh, you know, I feel like I'm really being attacked by other people while going after what I believe and my dream is. I feel like I want to withdraw myself.
I think I would tell someone out there, maybe you're walking in a journey that you're so afraid even to like come out of whatever place you are, just because you're afraid of what another person might say. I want to tell you, this journey is yours alone. It's only you that will back when you get at a certain point. You look back and start wishing that maybe I should have not listened to them. I should not have done things their way. It's only you who will have that moment. Only you. Anyone that has ever pointed out something to you will not be there. And this journey of life, we have people who shape us. We have people who tend to walk with us to a certain level or to a certain point. But when you reach that point, another person takes over, or maybe you get to walk that journey alone. So people are not meant to stay in your journey. So do not feel like you need to like please someone just because you want them to stay with you, or maybe you want them to be part of your journey. This journey is yours alone. This life is yours alone. It's you, only you, that will look back and start wishing, having all those wishes. And I think there's something I used to hear people say when I was in high school. I don't know if wishes were horses, beggars would ride. You see? If wishes were horses, beggars would ride. I don't want you to yeah, I don't want you to reach to that moment of wishing. No, just live the way you want. Let them project. People will talk. Whether you do it right, whether you do it wrong, whether you like take a hard, they will still talk. And what you are able to like live your authentic self. You are true to your own self. Let them talk. They will talk. Let them talk. But the moment that they will see you've become that hardcore person, that you don't even have to think about them, you just say it. Anything you want, you just let them say them. If they want to project whatever they are feeling about themselves on you, do it. But the fact that you are focusing on your own self, the fact that you've chosen you because this is your life, they will see whatever they will see. And let me tell you something, Jen. When you hear someone talking bad about yourself, or maybe about you, it's not you who has a problem. It's them. I think they are seeing that you're so courageous, you're so brave to be you. And the fact that they are so afraid, they are just still there in their own cocoons. They are unable to express who they really are. Is like scaring them. So what they do is project whatever they're feeling about themselves to you. And learning how to put that wall will always make you a very let's say hardcore person. It'll make you live life that you'll just one day look back and say, oh, I really lived that life. I really enjoyed my life and I loved it. And you'll just say, I don't have regrets. There are people who are like, when you sit with old people, you tend to learn a lot, and you'll hear them say, you will hear some of them say, I think I've lived life fully.
Yeah.
So
I love it, because ultimately we're on the path of liberation. Like, how much are we able to liberate ourselves, right? Through any human darkness. And what you just said, what you just shared, is so powerful, because we're diving deep into the human psyche, the psyche of the shadows. People don't want to see their own shadows. So when some people are healed and they are shining their truth, it will irritate some people. They will be triggered by their light, by their brightness. So I see also the high road, the possibility of when people who are projecting and then they stop projecting and start getting curious of, oh, if they can do it, I can do it too, right? Then we start seeing like everyone start doing their thing and do them. I do me, you do you, they do them. Everyone is happy of doing themselves. And we become an inspiration, supporting each other. And I see that as the high road, rather than the low road of, the imbalance of people are, in the shadow and fighting the people who are more in the light. It's a polarity, So anyway, I love this conversation. Just want to let you know. I love it because it's so authentic. It's raw. We're talking about the human fear of, the fear of owning even our light. It's a path, right? I mean, at first I was so afraid to seeing my own shadow, but I have to learn to own it in order to let the light out from the sea.
And let me say something.
Yeah.
You see, our in terms of our African culture, when this empowerment of girls started, it's like it was a journey that let me give you an example. Two families, one has a girl, one decides to like educate that girl, and then the girl comes back to the community and starts serving the community, or maybe starts giving out, or maybe bettering the lives of her parents. So when the other family sees that, so what they do is also they strive to educate the other child. So that's how journey. I think that's how our lives are.
Yeah.
When you see someone
out.
Yeah. When someone is spreading their wings, you want to know. And then just because they have been afraid, others will let it in. They'll just embrace that journey and say, maybe let me do this. Let me be me. Let me be the best authentic self. And through that, people are now like, they're not afraid of being judged. They're not afraid. It's not like the old time. People used to be like so much into what will others say, what will my mama say, what will my father say. I think that one has just gone away. And it's through that example. I think you better someone, and that someone comes back, gives something good, or maybe improves the lives of that person, so, or maybe another person, then that other person sees it and does the same. I think that's how we raise each other. That's why we like push each other to be better.
It is. It's a rippling effect.
Yeah.
It's a big tapestry that we are weaving together, right?
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much, Purity. I would love to talk to you a lot. And this the chat is about time to call it an end. But how would people find you? Because I know you have a podcast.
Yeah, I have a podcast.
The podcast, it's all sharing about your wisdom around all about life, your motherhood, nutrition, and also anything to do with healthy living.
Yeah. It's all about healthy nutrition, everything to do with living life to the fullest. So I think my podcast, anyone who wants to reach me can either reach me through my social media accounts.
Facebook,
Instagram. Instagram, and my podcast. You can listen to my podcast.
Oh, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Purity. Well, I'm so sorry. I have to apologize for the dogs barking that you just interrupt all the time. Love our conversation, I guess. And thank you for sharing your beautiful wisdom, your light about dealing with projection and how to stand in our truth, stand grounded, and never giving up to go after what you truly believe. Yeah. Thank you so much, Jilly. And also to Jilly being sleeping back there. Thank you, Purity. I love you. Hi, everyone. This is beautiful Purity. Feel free to follow her. And she is a sweet soul, and she's here to spread light and wisdom and love. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jen.
Oh, such an honor. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you, Purity.